Alright guys, it's airline bound 737 today. We're going to be going from Phoenix to San Diego. We're going to be operating as Southwest 1598 and we're going to be on the VATSIM network. So let's go ahead and start up the 737. Here we have parked at Phoenix. So we'll start with the battery. Almost, there we go. So battery on. We'll check the volts. Right now we got bat and 28 volts. And we have the battery discharge lights, so we'll go in here to the FMC. We'll get some ground power, that way we have some external power that's not, that way the instruments are not dependent on the battery. We don't need that. And we'll remove the covers. So let's go ahead and connect this. And check the voltage. That is all good, 115 volts, that's sufficient. Battery discharge light is now gone out. So that's good. Let's start using FS to crew. So let's first get some lights on. And we'll start running through our flows. So let's go into FS to crew and do pre-flight. Time remaining till departure.
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
And we'll get GSX going. So we are at okay, we will not be using GSX because it doesn't know this airport file. So we're going to start up with the power up and safety inspection. So the battery is confirmed on. Electric hydraulic pumps are both off. Landing gear lever is down. GPU is on the bus and we've checked the volts. Position lights to steady. Logo lights come on. Wing and wheel well lights come on. We're going to now test the engine fire and suppression system. So let's go over here and check the fire extinguisher bottles. All 6 of those are green. Emergency lights, we'll arm those. We're going to test the attend button. I will keep you informed. Oh, let me unmute. I will keep you informed. Okay, so that works. Cargo system fire, we'll test that. And that completes the power up and safety inspection checklist. So now we're going to go through and run through the preliminary setup. So let's go. I think it's 4. Yeah, there it goes.
I'm up for the walk around.
Okay. Easy dock seems to not be working. We'll try that again. Should reset it here. There it goes. So, there we go. So, we need to test the flight data recorder, which is right here. Hold it down for 5 seconds, wait for the green light to come on. There it goes. So now we need to test the Mach airspeed, which is here. Number 1 and number 2 are working along with the stall warning test. That will come online. The number 2 will come online here shortly once we get power to the aircraft. We're going to check the EEC panel, make sure there's no engine problems, so neither one of those are illuminated. That is good. Oxygen pressure is sufficient. Passenger oxygen is off, or normal. We need to turn the service interphone on and check the they are the IRS selectors to align. So that completes the preliminary setup. So now we're going to go through our station setup. So we're going to test the oxygen, confirm the UTC on both clocks, so 0319 and 0319, that is good. that completes that checklist. So now we're going to do our pre-flight flow. This is a very complex flow, so let's run through it. Yaw damper needs to come on. Nav transfer displays are all normal and auto. Crossfeed, we need to check that. That's good. Valve open, valve should go closed. That is good. So now we need to go ahead and program this, and then we'll continue that checklist. So I'm going to go into the flight management computer, and first we are going to set up our fuel and payload. So right now for this flight we need to depart with 12,000 pounds of fuel. So I always like to put 1,000 or 2 on additionally, so we'll depart with 12,000 pounds of fuel. So put that in as a total. So we should only have stuff in the wing tanks. You have 6 and 6 in each wing tank. Nothing in the center. We'll keep that in mind. Set up the payload. We need 96 passengers. Right now we have 96 passengers. Cargo is 7,300 pounds. That works there. Oops. Let's see, we needed 96. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, there we go. Return. Usually return buttons on that side, so that's weird. So let's go in here and set this up. So we're going to align our IRS displays. So right now we're at Phoenix. Kilo Papa Hotel X-Ray. We'll pull down that GPS information. Today we're going to be going from Phoenix to San Diego. Company route 01. Going to be departing runway 25 right. You can see that right here. It's going to be short taxi. We're right here. So we'll just go and to 25 right via Delta 11 and Echo. Our flight number is Southwest 1598, I believe. Yep, 1598.
Hi, the security and safety checks are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Go for it.
Okay.
So FS2 crew will be boarding people here pretty soon. Our cruising altitude is 38,000 feet. Let me move this up some to make it a bit more efficient. Our cost index is basically, it determines how much fuel you want to use. So if you have a very low cost index number, you're going to be cruising at a very slower Mach. This could be more efficient for the airline. So we'll be cost index of 20, which Southwest uses in the real world. Our reserves are 3,400 pounds, so 3.4. Oops, that's not 3. 3.4. And these ground weights, so the system will calculate itself. Usually.
Okay, I'm back from the walk around. Everything looks good.
Thank you. We'll mute that. Trip, we're going to need 4.2 thousand pounds of 4.2. Is the plan. Let's zero fuel weight on this. Zero fuel weight 107.3. And then 115.5, we'll check that now. Ground weight 119.3. There we go. So we're going to execute this. N1 limits are basically the front fans. So we're going to limit those. We'll do 22,000 pounds of thrust with the D rate, climb 1. So takeoff will be flaps 5, center of gravity, we'll let the computer calculate that, so trim at 5.19 units. These are going to be our V speeds with a V2 of 129, so If we lose an engine, we will be fine at 129 knots. So let's go ahead and program that in. 129. That is good. So everything is set up there. Let's see, our en route wind. We can get a briefing here. Average wind 328 at 4.1. So let's put that in 328 at 4.1. That'll give us a better estimate of how much fuel we're going to use. So let's continue with this checklist. So fuel pumps, the wing pumps will come on, but the center pumps will stay off because there's no fuel in them. Cabin utility IFU power is checked on. Seatbelt signs come on, chime comes off. Window heat is on right here. Electric hydraulic pumps on. Now we're going to set up our packs. The bleeds are all on. We do not engage the bleed yet. We need the ionization valve to be auto. Both packs are on. Recirculation fan is on. Trim air. This one running 700. Flight level, we're going to be going up to 380. Landing altitude sea level with the same thing, so 0 feet. We're going to make sure the pressurization valve is auto. And for our first flight of the day, so they're on the right side, the right admission machine. Check that. Lights are configure me and turn these on. So I turn on the flight directors. So master and slave. Check our IRS displays here. 0 minutes to align, so go ahead and put them on nav and check our displays. Left side is aligned. We're still waiting on the right side, which should come up here momentarily. So let's go ahead and set up our EVIS display. So we want to show you data, traffic,
Light slope.
VOR,
Pull up.
FTV,
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull
right now
up.
the first officer is running the
Sync
ground
rate.
proximity morning test. So
Pull up.
that will be in the background.
Terrain. Pull up.
Flight directors are
Don't
on.
sink. Don't sink. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Glide slope.
And reset.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Minimums. 500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Flight directors
10.
are on. MCP V2 is set.
Wind
Heading
shear.
is also
Wind shear. Wind shear.
on the departure. So let's go ahead and program that in.
Caution. Terrain.
Departure. We're going to be on the Judith 3 to Mohawk. So that in now. The Judith 3 to Mohawk. Hard 5 right. Exit. Put those in. V2 still 129. And our arrival is the Lydia 4 from Imperial.
Monitor radar display.
Shooting a localizer to
Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
Program. It's called the departure plate. We are now departure. Taking off 5 right. This is going to be the initial heading of 258 to, once we get to 1,640 feet, we'll left turn direct Davies. So we'll put that in, see what the altitude is. Departure 8,000, expect higher altitude 3 minutes after departure, so we'll put that in now to the MCV mode control panel. So 8,000
TCAS test pass.
time. It's going to be 258, which is a runway heading up to 1,640 feet. We need to select the bank angle to 25 degrees. Auto brake is RTO. Fuel flow is preset. Standby instruments are all set. Let's go ahead and listen to the ALIS. It's 12280. swap that.
Kilo Papa Hotel X-ray Airport information Foxtrot 0251 Zulu weather wind
Hi,
250
there's the
at
fuse
5
lit.
visibility
Okay,
10
thanks.
sky clear
See you
temperature
later.
27 dew point -2 altimeter 2996 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Kilo Papa
2996 is set. Go ahead and check the displays here. So, the systems. Quantity is 89 and 94. Pressure is good. So that is good. Vibrations are low. Oil quantity is good. Oil pressure is good. Oil pressure is 30 and 20 and 10. So all that is good. Check that the speed brake lever is down. Parking brake is set. Stabilizer check the valve switches are both here, there, and in normal position. Parking brake is set on. Radios are set as required. And check the transponder is 2000. Rudder and aileron trim is 0, and rudder is 0 as well. Awesome. So let's see where first officers. He's done setting up his station, and we can run through the safety inspection checklist. So we'll pull that up, and we will start that. Check. Move this out of the way a little bit. There we go. Safety inspection checklist, please.
Safety inspection checklist. Surfaces and chocks.
Checked.
Maintenance status.
Checked.
Battery.
On.
Electric hydraulic pumps.
On.
Landing gear lever.
Down.
Ship's library.
Checked.
Safety inspection checklist complete.
Okay, so now we're going to basically brief the first officer for the departure. So let's go in here. So we're going to be departing. We're going to be pushing back from a gate. So we'll put that in there. ASTX, which is a ground radar for controllers, is in use at Phoenix. So we'll turn that to yes. Takeoff thrust will be 2 rated. Takeoff flap is 5. ETOPS is no, because we're not going over water. Bleed off the engines. The air conditioning will be on. Anti-ice is check the temperature. It is above 10 Celsius, 27. So that is not required. Let's get that page back up here. Anti-ice not required. Takeoff safety will say crew change. Force to return will be underweight, so we can land. Departure procedure is going to be via standard instrument departure, noise abatement departure procedure 1. Concerns, none. So let's go ahead and play the brief, and we'll continue setting up the FTC.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off from the gate. Taxi route will be assigned by ATC. It'll be a left seat takeoff using D-rated thrust. Planning a FLAPS 5 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. In the event of a malfunction prior to V1, I will either call reject or continue. Standard low-speed reject procedures below 80 knots. Between 80 knots and V1, I will only conduct a high-speed reject in the case of an engine fire or failure, predictive wind shear warning, or if there's any condition that makes the aircraft unable or unsafe to take into the air. I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disconnect the auto throttle, apply maximum manual braking or verify the operation of the RTO auto brake, apply maximum reverse thrust, verifying the extension of the speed brake and bring the aircraft to a complete stop and set the parking brake. We will then run the appropriate checklist and evaluate our options. If you can monitor my actions and make the standard reject takeoff calls, including any abnormalities that you observe before advising ATC. From V1, or if the call is to continue, I will continue the takeoff as per standard company procedures. We will climb to the minimum sector altitude and track clear of local terrain. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we are okay to make an immediate return. All going well, the departure routing will be via the ATC assigned SID, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. We'll use noise abatement departure procedure 1. Flight directors are on, mine is master, yours is slave, navigation radios are set, the NOTAMs and the aircraft defect log have been reviewed. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
No questions.
Departure brief complete.
Alright, so now let's go through the before start checklist. So we'll follow the first officer. Before start checklist to the line, please.
Before start checklist to the line. Phones
Off.
off. IRS mode selectors.
Nav.
Gear pins.
Removed.
Light test.
Checked.
Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Yaw damper.
On.
Navigation transfer and display switches.
Normal auto. Normal auto.
Here's the load sheet for you.
Thank you. Pumps on.
Cabin utility IFE.
On.
Emergency exit lights.
Armed.
Passenger signs.
On.
Window heat.
On.
Hydraulics.
Normal.
Air conditioning and pressurization.
Pax auto bleed on set.
Pressurization mode selector.
Auto.
Instruments.
Set. Set. Cross check.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Speed brake lever.
Down detent.
Parking brake.
Set.
Stabilizer trim cutout switches.
Normal.
Wheel well fire warning.
Checked.
Radios, radar, and transponder.
Set and standby.
Rudder and aileron trim.
Free and 0.
Takeoff briefing.
Discussed.
PA.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, on behalf of the flight crew and staff, we want to welcome you aboard the aircraft and thank you for choosing us for your flight travel carrier. If there's anything that we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please ask the cabin crew. Thank you.
Completed.
FMC CDU.
Set.
N1 and airspeed modes.
Set.
Stabilizer trim.
Check that now. 5.19 units. .19 unit set. 5.19 unit set. 5.1 unit set. 5.2 unit set. Sometimes this is a little bit tricky. 5.2 unit set.
EFB.
There we go. Airplane mode and stowed. Airplane mode and stowed.
Airplane mode and stowed. Holding at flight deck windows and cockpit door.
Locked.
Locked. Doors.
Closed.
Before start checklist completed to the line. Happy to turn on the APU?
Go for it.
Starting APU.
Okay, so he just started that. Let's go through our next checklist. So let's do the before start procedure. So hydraulic pumps A will come off for the pushback tug. That way we don't interfere with them. Doors are open. We'll fix that now. We're going to wait for the APU to be on. We'll put that on the buses, check the voltage, turn the APU bleed on, and then disconnect the round power. So doors are closed. Packs need to come off. That way we can start the engine isolation valve open. Anti-collision light on. That will let the ground crew know that we'll be pushing back shortly. Parking brake is set and transponder is standby. Actually, we need to turn that to altitude off. There we go. Then we'll run the below the line checklist. So right now the APU is showing available, so we'll put that on the buses. Check the voltage. Volts are good, 115. Battery discharge is not illuminated. So APU bleed will come on. We should hear that. And now we'll call up ground and get them to disconnect the ground equipment. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Please disconnect the ground equipment.
Roger. Disconnecting the GPU and air. Captain, the GPU and air are disconnected.
Thank you. And we'll run the next checklist. Below the line.
A pumps.
Off.
Air conditioning packs.
Off.
Anti-collision light.
On.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
Out. Off.
Before start checklist complete.
Alright. Start sequence is 2, then 1.
Check.
So go and disconnect the jetway. And push back. So parking brake released, and we'll initiate the pushback. Start engine number 2.
Check.
Welcome everyone, my name is Colette, and on behalf of Southwest Airlines, it's a pleasure to have you flying with us. Now
And 2.
please give us your full attention while
Oil
we
pressure.
demonstrate the safety features of this airplane.
And 1.
Please take the safety information card out of the seat pocket and follow along. Please observe the exits being pointed out, 2 on the left and
There's
2 on the
25
right.
and 2
All
fuel
are
valve on.
live
Or
wrap.
open.
There are 4 window exits over the wing, and if you are sitting in the next row, you must keep the steering clear of all handlings for takeoff and landing. If you are sitting in the next row, please require to assist the crew with an emergency. If you are unable or do not meet the 4 functions described on the front of the safety information card, and please advise on flight attendants at the end of the announcements. If there is a loss of electrical power or if smoke fills the cabin, emergency path lighting on the floor
Starter
will
cutout.
illuminate
Monitor
directly
number
the
2.
exits which are
Hi,
identified by
the cabin
red
is ready to
lights
go.
and exit signs. Please
Thanks,
take
let me
a
know if you
look
need
down,
anything.
locate the
Start
direction
engine number 1.
which may be
Check.
behind you.
So we
Seatbelt
started the
should
clock,
be worn at
I'm
all
starting the
times.
switch.
Flight deck windows and cockpit
Fasten your
door.
seatbelt, insert the metal lead into the buckle. The length may be changed by adjusting the strap.
And 2.
And to release it,
Oil
use the
pressure.
top lid of the buckle.
And 1.
Your life jacket is located in a pouch under your seat. Should it become necessary, remove it from its stowage and place it over your head. Fasten the red strap to the
25%
front
and
and
2.
tighten.
Fuel
Do not
valve
inflate the
is
life
idle.
jacket while inside the aircraft.
Checking for
In
fuel flow,
addition,
there
your
it
seat
goes.
cushion can also
Oil
be
pressure's
used as
rising.
a rotation
Oil
device.
temperature should rise here pretty
Southwest
soon.
is a non-smoking
Vibrations are
airline.
low.
U.S. law prohibits tampering with,
Flow is
disabling, or
rising.
destroying
Oil pressure's
laboratory
good.
smoke detectors.
All that
Smoking
looks
is
good.
never allowed
Vibrations
in an
minimal.
aircraft
Should start
laboratory.
rising here pretty
All
soon.
laboratories are equipped with smoke detectors
Monitor
and
number
video
1.
cameras. Smoking is punishable by a fine of up to $2,000. In the event of a sudden loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will descend from the ceiling.
Starter
Extend the
cutout.
mask towards you and pull it over your nose and
Alright,
mouth.
generators.
Breathe normally. Remain seated
Number
and
1
not
stand.
use
2
mask
on.
until
Check the
instructed by a
voltage.
crew member.
Voltage is good.
Plastic
Pro
bag
D
will not fully inflate
comes
even though
on.
oxygen is
Anti-ice
flowing.
is off.
If you have a
Vape
small
pumps
child traveling with
come
you,
on.
secure your
Packs.
mask first before assisting with
Auto.
settings.
Isolation valve
And as
is
a final
open.
reminder,
Lead
U.S.
is
law
off.
requires customers
Start
to
switches
comply with
to
all flight
continuous
signs,
ignition.
placards, and crew member
APU
instructions.
comes off.
If you are using the blanket, please fold it
Recall
now and
is
place it
checked.
beside you,
No lights.
allowing your arms and legs to
Flight control check.
for takeoff.
Ready.
If you are using
Full
headphones,
left.
please also input them at this
Full
time.
right.
And turn off all
Seven.
electronic devices.
Check.
Thank
Full
you
left.
for your attention, ladies and gentlemen.
Full right.
And do enjoy
Seven.
your flight with
Check.
Southwest.
Folks, looks like we're just a few planes back from getting off the ground.
Five
So at this
selected.
time, flight attendants, please prepare for
Engine
takeoff.
indications. And 2 is steady fuel flow is steady. Oil pressure is sufficient. Oil temperature is normal. Quantity is good. Vibrations are minimal. Check our N1s. Both N1s are 21.3. EGT is in the limits. That's all good. So we can go ahead and blink the lower DU. And run the checklist. Before taxi checklist, please.
Before taxi checklist. Generators.
On.
Probe heat.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
A pumps.
On.
Air conditioning.
Packs on, bleed on set. Packs on, bleed on.
Isolation valve.
Auto.
Start switches.
Continuous.
APU.
Off.
Recall.
Checked.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Flaps.
5 required, 5 selected, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
5.2 units set.
Start levers.
Idle detent.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Parking brake released, and that's power. Set taxi light on.
Taxi light on.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, we are number 1 for the runway. I hope to have us flying here soon. Thank you.
Alright, so it's going to be Delta 11 Echo to 25 right as planned. So this is Delta 11, we'll take this here. Let's pull up the airport chart. Rotate it and... Yep, Delta 11 Echo to 25 right. Before takeoff checklist to the line, please.
Before takeoff checklist to the line. Config.
Checked.
Flaps.
5 selected, 5 green light. 5 green light.
Stabilizer trim.
5.2 unit set.
Takeoff briefing.
Reviewed.
Holding at cabin. Cabin.
Secured.
Before takeoff checklist completed to the line.
Below the line.
Cabin crew, seats for departure. MCP.
Set.
Transponder.
TARA.
Landing and strobes.
On.
Holding at retracts. Retracts.
On.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
00 timing.
Checked. Stabilized.
Set takeoff thrust.
Takeoff thrust set. Indications normal.
Check.
80 knots.
Check.
V1. V1. Rotate.
Rotate.
V2.
Gear up.
Positive climb. Feet.
Check. There's 1,840 feet. We're going to start that left turn direct Davies. Bug up.
Bug up. Bug up is set.
Check.
Ladies and gentlemen, once we have reached a comfortable cruising altitude, the flight attendants will be moving through the cabin to offer you each a beverage of your choice.
We've hit reduction altitude. So we're going to lower the nose and maintain the speed. Flying flight director. That would be the trim wheel you hear in the background.
Checked.
The aircraft trimmed out in flight. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Set speed to 10 knots.
Speed 210, set.
And there's acceleration altitude. Flaps up.
Speed checked, flaps up.
After takeoff checklist, please.
Stand by. After takeoff checklist. Air conditioning and pressurization set. Holding at altimeters.
2996 set. 2996 set.
After takeoff checklist complete. Happy to release the cabin crew.
Go for it.
Okay.
It's like VNAV.
VNAV. 1 to go.
Checked. Set altitude, flight level 380. Set altitude 38,000 feet.
Altimeters.
10 checks.
Fuel is balanced. 4 pumps on. Lights are off. APU is off. Pressurization is set. Recall checked. Would you like to fasten seatbelt sign to auto?
Yes, please.
Roger. 10 checks complete.
Select Command A.
Command A.
Alright, there we go. So autopilot's gonna fly the bird now. As we program it. Display weather on my side.
Roger.